in the rain, trying to push one of their carts on the road. I run the wheels into a crack, so the cart stops and flips forward. I crash forward and land on top of the flip forward cart.
Let us prepare to tangle in a raucous fashion.
Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day, wherein I think I'm further back than I usually am, and if so, thumbs up. It just seems a little different. Also, I have placed, it's hard for me to figure out where to lean, a piece of cardboard back here against this big blank spot, both so that you can see the stuffed animals on the shelf better, and two, because as old as I am, and now with as white as my hair is gone, my head just blends into the white of the background wall. So hopefully that back there doesn't look too weird. Yay, so thumbs up on that. Past that, it's a day, the sun is shining, it finally stopped raining. I woke up wheezing and hacking and sinuses flowing and sneezing, and this door is still open, so just one moment. And of course, front loading of videos. Hey, if you could toss me a like, that'd be greatly appreciated. If you could subscribe to the channel, that too would be very awesome. If you could leave me a comment, I read every one of them, answer as many as I can. And of course, I would like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. These literally beautiful and literally awesome people are literally beautiful and literally awesome. Awesome, not awesome, awesome, and they help to keep me and my pets alive, and that is greatly appreciated. I know my kitty cat appreciates it, I know my little hamster appreciates that, and I know that I appreciate it very, very much as well. So thank you very much, greatly appreciated, each and one of these beautiful people. Definitely a good batch of eggs, so to speak. Yay! Well, front loading of videos over. Thumbs up for that. So yeah, now I can't even remember what I was talking about because the door being open there distracted me, and of course being off my ADHD meds, I forget things like that. Just a snap of my fingers and they're gone. So yay, whatever I was saying is gone. Oh wait, I do remember, I think. Yes, I was sneezing and hacking and wheezing this morning. My throat still feels scratchy, and I feel and I sound to myself much deeper voice than normal. I know that, externally there's not going to be a huge change. You might be able to hear it, but it is there, and I can hear it because of bone conduction and water travel of, all that. So, yay, but it's mostly the scratchy feeling. And that, of course, is because for several days we have had rain, and apparently it's leaf mold that does the trick, because the minute it got wet outside, I started going nuts with my sinuses, and it is horrific today. I was wheezing before I even took off my sleep apnea mask, and it has a filter, and then when I took it off, it's just been fun since then. Yay. Still though, life is life, and oh boy, it was weird weather yesterday, because twice it went from just raining to suddenly it was hail that covered the lawn and everything. It was just coated with hail, and then it stopped and it all melted, and then it did it again. So it was just weird wet weather, and that was joyous. And so I grabbed my umbrella for my walkies out, started to take my big umbrella because it had been raining hard all day, and then went outside and it was clear and starry. So, just to be safe, I took my smaller umbrella, and a good thing I did, because even though it started off clear, before I was even a third of the way through my walk through town, it was raining again for about 5 minutes, and then it was starry, not a cloud in the sky. And then a couple blocks later, I was fighting the wind as it was trying to rip my umbrella away while it was slamming me hard with rain. Well, it was clear again by the time I went into Safeway, not a single cloud in the sky again. And by the time I got out, it was raining again. So it was on and off all the way back from there. Never completely not raining, never completely fully committed to it. It was just joyous wet weather. But as I had mentioned to my housemate before I was leaving before, when we were talking about the rain and stuff, she was saying, oh, it's just bad weather for walking. And it was like, well, yeah, on the one hand, it is miserable weather. And it is, to go walking out there. It's cold, it's windy, it's wet. I mean, if you have an umbrella, you're having to fight to keep it from being ripped away from you at times, because the wind will go from pushing down at you from behind to pulling upward in this direction to suddenly slamming it back down onto your head again. It's miserable. And at the same time, I love this kind of weather. I'm not feeling miserable at all. I'm loving every moment of it. That's great weather for walking. I love that stuff. So thumbs up for that part of it. Which I did have to think about last night and remember, and then hopefully talk about this morning if I can keep it in mind. Talking about how something's miserable at the time, but the thing is, you can change how things feel just by changing things in your head. And I'll explain what I mean by that. Because like 2 years ago, I think it was, 2 or some years, I had decided to walk to Walmart and I needed cat food, and I didn't have a backpack, and I didn't take an umbrella with me because I didn't think it was going to rain. And so I ended up with a big, like 40-can thing of cat food that I was bringing from Walmart. Those things are heavy in your hands. Of course, a block out of Walmart, it started to rain. So the box was going to disintegrate. So I couldn't just carry this cardboard disintegrating box in the rain. I stopped somewhere and they were nice enough to give me a garbage bag that I put the thing into. That became hell, because you can't just hold on to the garbage bag and let the thing inside dangle, because then it's just going to tear through the garbage bag. Garbage bags aren't made to be particularly thick. I just needed something to stop the cardboard box from disintegrating. Because of the odd shape of the bag, and because I couldn't just let it dangle, I had to carry it. Because I had to carry it so far, several miles, I didn't want to tucker out both of my arms at the same time. So I'm trying to carry it one side, then the other side, then the other side, but it's sliding inside of the bag, and it's hard, it's difficult. I can't just carry it in any one particular way, and it's raining, and I'm miserable, and I'm also laughing because objectively, that's funny. You'd be laughing at that if it was a movie. Subjectively, of course, it felt horrible, it was miserable, but you've got to be able to step back from out of your head in a situation like that. Yeah, it was terrible. I was cold, miserable, trying to keep this thing from falling apart. And it kept getting worse, because finally I made it to Safeway, and I needed to get one of their carts to carry this, because I just couldn't do it. It was too heavy. I was having to carry it in too horrible of a way. I needed to have a cart, so I needed to borrow a cart. And of course, in the rain, trying to push one of their carts on the road, I run the wheels into a crack, so the cart stops and flips forward. I crash forward and land on top of the flip forward cart as the disintegrating box of cat food spills the cans of cat food all over the road. My shins hurt like hell because I have slammed legs first onto this cart, and I've got to pick up all this fallen cat food. It's horrible. And I was laughing even as I was feeling terrible, because objectively, again, that's just things compounding and getting more horrible. You'd be laughing at that in a comedy movie. Just the fact that it was happening to me, it was what was making it not funny, and being able to step backward, it was like, yeah, that was funny. Even if it was one of the worst things in my life, it was also funny as hell. So I had to push this thing like a mile just to get to southern Shelton. It was like a mile, 2 miles. I had to push this thing with a safe, a shopping cart through the streets. Oh my God. Miserable, embarrassing, horrific, painful, and funny as hell. So yeah, You just have to be able to step back out of your head and put this point of separation between you. I find it a little easier to do because I spent 15 years working in healthcare. And when you work in healthcare, you've got to have that degree of separation. You have to be able to step back from what you're doing and have that little piece of armor in there, because when you're helping someone who's in horrific pain and dying, that can hurt up here. You've got to be able to step back from the situation so that you can impersonally and impassively do something in the moment. It may tear you up later on, but at the moment, you're able to step back up and out to get that point of separation so that it doesn't hurt as much, so that you can get the job done. So I'm used to that. Past that, the biggest thing I've got to say is, once again, it hurts to feel incredibly unfocused. I'm having to struggle and fight to keep my thoughts reined in because, again, I am a 1,500 ping pong balls all dropped in a very, very active and powerful wind tunnel, and every time they bounce off each other, I'm off on a new tangent. I was thinking about programming stuff again today. I can't just go off on wild tangents and start to learn to program. I know I've studied programming on and off my whole life, never been able to do more than on and off because of everything that's been going on up here. Going off on a tangent and chasing that isn't going to help. Sure, I'd like to write games, but that's a lot of effort, and I find it difficult physically to sit forward and just pound on the keyboard to get the stories out of my head. A normal person has a rechargeable battery that when you go to bed and you wake up the next day, your battery charges to about 90 to 95% for you to fill your day on. There are some lucky people that are closer to 100% or between 95 and 100, but if you're normal, you're not going to fully recharge all the time or even on a regular basis. But you're at about 90% and your battery spins, normally through the day, and then you sleep to recharge. On a good day, when I wake up, my battery is at like 70%. On a good day. It's much, much less on a normal or bad day. When I just do my normal survive things, my battery, by the time I go out for walkies, is down on 5%. I don't have a lot of that energy that everyone else does to sit there and tippity-tappity, tippity-tappity, tippity-tappity to get this running and moving through because of all sorts of issues that it takes a lot of energy to do it, and it sucks. A lot of it is mental. A lot of it is physical. Joy. So if your battery does regularly recharge up to at least 80%, very, very good. It is a very good thing. I go to bed anywhere from around midnight-ish on, and I wake up at around 4 o'clock in the morning from discomfort and growing pain. I'm out of bed at 5:30 in the morning, not because my alarm wakes me up, but because, thank God, I can get up and out of this torture chamber, which is just a mattress. But even a foam mattress, which I have one of these 6-inch Tempur-Pedic foam mattresses, and then I have another 2-inch or at least 2-inch topper on top of that of memory foam. I have massive amounts of foam and memory foam, and after even only 4 hours of sleep, I am hurting from lying down on that. So I don't sleep well, I don't recharge my batteries well, and on a good day, I'm at 70%. I don't have a lot of good days. Still though, cannabis helps with the physical problems, and I'm able to go out for walkies, and that's a good thing. Because if I don't go out for walkies, I feel terrible. Now, they say for moderate exercise, you want to do 2.5 hours of moderate exercise every week. Moderate exercise is, yeah, again, 2.5 hours, but moderate exercise is walking at 3 miles an hour. For it, what is it? Yeah, 2.99 kph or something like that. But it turns out it's a 3 mile per hour walk. You do that for 2.5 hours a week, and that is moderate exercise. If I don't do 2+ hours of that every single day, I feel antsy and horrible. So I've got to make sure that I ration off my rechargeable battery so that I can go out walkies and come back with enough energy to get myself all fixed up and ready for my own bed. But thank you for watching, and thank you for listening as I bitch, whine, and moan about my life. It is appreciated very, very much. And of course, with my hands in the air, hey, I'm going to go through and thank is this where I started now? I went and derailed myself again by thinking things. Thinking, the bane of existence. I'm going to go through and thank however many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours on my videos. There's never many anymore, but anything more than 0 is awesome. Thank you. And if I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended. And even though I count American Sign Language, well, you've seen how my brain works. I know how my brain works. It doesn't surprise me anymore. So let me call it my Chrome, and we have Jesse Koskinen, thumbs up and thank you. Good to see you in the comments. King Moala, I hope I'm pronouncing that properly. Thank you very, very much. And Goose Music, thank you very much. We have John Mara, greatly appreciated. Crucifier Drums, thumbs up and thank you. We have Shake, greatly appreciated. Ryan Khan, thumbs up. And rain is good. But oh boy, it's going to be rough in the upcoming years. Isn't that great? Aldi Baby, thumbs up and thank you very, very much. We have JAYY, and here's hoping it warms up for you. I know from history and like watching maps and stuff, it can get pretty bloody cold where you are. So here's hoping you don't freeze. We have Ben B, thumbs up, and there is Florum U, always good to see you in the comments. And there is Them CC Pin, greatly appreciated, and Amma Nirmal, greatly appreciated, and that is it. 12 people who left me comments in the past 24 hours. Greatly appreciated to get me out of my head and into the world and dealing with real people. If only for a short time, and if only in text. Definitely appreciated, and thumbs up again. And hey, with my hands in the air, don't know what device you're watching this on, but wherever you can find the video description inside, I have links to all my channels, as well as my Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon. And again, I do wish to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. These literally beautiful and awesome people are helping to keep me afloat. Well, keeping my sinking below the waves of financial ruin much slower than it could be. Thank you very, very much, each and every one of these beautiful and very awesome people. And if you would like to be a very awesome person, I have links to my PayPal in the video description. If you'd like to help me out without becoming a patron, I do have links to a PayPal there, and I'm getting pretty desperate. If anything could help, it would be awesome. And if you'd like to help me out without sending cash, I have links to an Amazon wishlist link with stuff like cat food on it. If you could check it out, that would be very awesome. Don't feel obligated. I don't feel entitled. And if you cannot or do not donate, I take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest. So thank you very much. And if you could toss me a like, I appreciate all the positive validation you get from my existence. And if you could hit the notification bell on the subscription button, that would be very cool. Definitely a thumbs up on that. Well, hokey smokes, I got phone calls I have to make. I've gotten, the VA has made a whole bunch of appointments that I don't understand why suddenly, but I got a call yesterday saying, hey, just show up at any time for an x-ray. It's 90 miles away, round trip, 45 miles one way. I'm not going to get a 90-mile round trip just to drop in to do an x-ray. So I got phone calls to make, and hopefully I'll get things figured out. And of course, with the covfefe bug out there and still surging because people are dropping mask mandates, please just be careful and be smart. Wear a mask around people. Maintain your social distancing. Wash your hands often. If you haven't been vaxxed, please do. If you can get a booster, please do that. The people that drop their precautions first are getting mauled. That always happens to first adopters in situations like this. Don't be mauled. Be smart. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and I, quite frankly, think that is a very good idea.